All right, we good? All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first mentor call of 2018. We have Josipa Singh with us from Norway, and we are so excited to have her here. She is a success and mindset coach, and she had 14 years in mechanical engineering before she left her job to live her passion, to prioritize joy and fun. She's now a success and mindset coach and speaker, and she specializes in the inner transformation that creates outer wealth and success. She delivers high-impact transformation that clears the inner blocks to confidence and success, creates wild enthusiasm and excitement, which are key to taking action. So let's welcome her. We are so happy to have her with us, and she has done a dynamite job of putting together 2 workbooks for you, which you have in your inbox. Josipa did say that you don't necessarily have to have them for the call tonight, but after listening to her coach you to print those off and then take time tomorrow or even at some point this week and reflect upon those, because that's really going to help kind of cement and solidify everything that you learned tonight. Okay, so I think we will go ahead and get started. Josipa?
What an introduction. I'm so humbled, and thank you so much, Stephanie, for a wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. And I really want to thank to Stephanie for this opportunity, because it's really important to me, for me to give my message and just encourage whoever I can, however I can, not to struggle anymore with your goals. So as you know, agenda for today is goals. We are going to speak everything goals related, and we will start with saying why goals are important, why we should have them, but also why is it that we actually avoid setting them. So we will also have a look into this process of setting goals and into the steps what you need to take in order to make sure that you are going to achieve them at the end. So we will also have a look at some setbacks that you might be experiencing and what you really need to pay attention to. And we will together see some examples how you can train your mind and reprogram your mind to make sure you're going to be successful. And at the end, of course, we will have some coaching together. If someone is open for that, we can have a volunteer who would like to participate and have a look at what his or her goal is. And we can maybe have some questions if our time permits that. So Stephanie has said so much about me, but I really want to say, why am I actually here? And my deeper reason is not that I am, is not actually the work I'm doing today. So I'm basically focusing on mindset from entrepreneurial side and in business and this self-confidence. But why is it so important in health and wellness? Well, for me, if I would think back to my life and you would say just word weight, I would just have this flashback into high school where we were every year being measured in our height or weight, and I was this heaviest girl in the class every single year. I was having this 83 kilograms, and I can still see this, how it was written in pen there, and I was so ashamed.
Wow. Oh.
And that was that. I don't even know in pounds, maybe it's about 185. Okay. But it's pretty much for a girl. And since that age, what would be around 14 probably, I was struggling with that, with self-image, self-doubt. And even the worst part for my inside world was that I was seeing myself if you imagine these movies where there are high schoolers and then there are these groups of popular girls, these slim, fit and pretty, and then you have these smart girls who are just studying. And of course I was in this smart group. I was not thin, I was not beautiful, and I was really struggling with self-image. And year after year I was setting this goal. I was promising myself I'm going to change that. This struggle will end, and it just didn't happen for years, through my university years, and it was a big issue. So then in university, my journey really began when I started to analyze mindset of people, of my colleagues, and I really wondered, what is it that makes one student study so little and make such an amazing progress and achieve such an amazing results, while other person here is studying hours and he's barely passing. I was studying my roommates who were, after dinner, they were not having any issue with chocolate and other cravings like I had. I was just questioning myself, what's going on here? Why am I not managing? And I really became passionate about mindset. And only until I really dedicated myself to fully work on mindset, I was not able to achieve any results. This is why it's my full passion to share as much of my knowledge and expertise with all of you here, with hopes that I can inspire you and help you in this field.
Wow.
So, as we start speaking about mindset, of course, mind is crucial. But I want you to know that compassion is a start. This is where we all need to start, because where we are and all our struggles are not our fault. And soon you will find out. So before we go to really focus on goals, I want to tell you two main things. First one is I like to really simplify things. So I will try to tell you just basic in really simple language, without this dopamine, any other terms which are happening in our brains. So just simplification. I want you to really just get it, what's going on in simplest way I possibly can. And second thing I want to say, just to as a basis of understanding of our mind, which you probably know, but just to repeat, so our mind is having two basic parts. One is conscious, and conscious mind is it's responsible for decision making, for understanding things, for making conscious movements, for thinking, and all this logic. And conscious mind also is responsible for our setting goals. And then we have, just to mention, this part of our mind is taking about 10% of our brain. And there is subconscious, which is way stronger, more powerful. And this subconscious part of our mind has the main responsibility to protect us, to make us safe, to make us feel right. And there stored all these beliefs, habits, and this fight or flight response, which we act when we are in a certain situation that is triggering for our brain. So having said that, let's start with just defining why is it that we really need to have a goal. Well, for first reason, we really want to have a goal because we as humans, we don't feel great when we are stagnant. When we are standing in place, we don't feel motivated, we are not charged, we want to move, we want to progress, we want to develop. We really need this progress and growth as number one. And then second reason is that we really want to see where we are going. We really want to design our life and our future. We don't want to sit on the back chair and just look. We want to be responsible, and we really want to get excited and have this vision. So not having a goal means accepting what's given. So you're setting up for what's given to you. Just imagine if you would say, if you would not set goal, this year I'm going to earn $1,000 more than last year. That would mean that you will get what you're getting. But if you just think of setting this goal and really set it, then your brain will start thinking of the ways how that is possible. This is what then happens. And next point that I want to say something about is, why is it that we avoid setting goals? And whatever we avoid, it means that it triggers us in some way. It means that there is something that we really want to avoid because it's unpleasant and it's not comfortable. And it could be that it reminds us of past. Our mind starts thinking or be reminded of instances when we failed. So our mind is triggered back and we are postponing it in a way. Or we start with excuses. For example, we can say, I will start from Monday. And what that is telling us is that right now, I'm not ready for this because it will bring up so much uncomfortable feelings, and I will be challenged to do things that I don't like. I'm not happy to do them. So I will make my excuse and I will postpone it. So just remember this, not setting goals means I'm not comfortable. Something is triggering me and I just want to avoid it. This is why all excuses are made. And last point in this set is why achieving a goal, once we set it even, once we know that we want it, is such an issue. And to answer this question, I need to start by defining that whichever goal we want to achieve, we need two things. And this is belief and strategy. And when we say belief, that means we need belief on conscious and subconscious level. What is crucial here is that when you're setting goal, you say to yourself, yes, I know that I can achieve that and I'm certain of that. But subconscious level is something that we are not aware of. And this is where the whole issue, the whole trouble starts. So what is happening on this subconscious level, which we are not aware of, and what is actually there? So number one, this is limiting beliefs. And maybe you have heard everywhere around about limiting beliefs. They're not good for us or whatever else, but they're actually not supporting our goal. And they're these basic ones. So if you set a goal, basic limiting belief will be, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take a lot of time. I will have to give up on so many things that I love. So these are some basic ones. And then we have deep-rooted ones. And with work with my clients, this is something that I often come to. And those are not so easy to determine maybe by yourself. And for example, one of these deep-rooted beliefs could be, if I really am healthy and vibrant and sexy, I will attract behavior from men that are so unpleasant for me, and this is not safe. It will be all my fault. So subconscious mind reacts on that. To go there is unsafe because I will be in such situations that are unpleasant for me and I don't want to face that. Or I will have to step out. I will be vulnerable. With another client, I came to very interesting realization She was carrying belief that if she would achieve this goal and have amazing health and this vibrant energy, she would have to give up her lifetime story of struggle, because her life was very difficult. And if people would now see that she has achieved this goal and she's vibrant and happy and healthy, that would mean she can't complain anymore. That would mean that her life was not so difficult. And this is something that her subconscious mind is not ready to give up on. This is something that keeps her, that gives her some kind of feeling of getting understanding from people. So these are some deeper limiting beliefs, and they result in self-sabotage. So when we are setting goals, we are not aware of what's behind in our subconscious mind. Because, just be aware, in this first phase, when we are setting goals, we are really excited. We get this motivation, we get enthusiasm, because we visualize ourselves how amazing it will be when we achieve it. But as the willpower is weakening, subconscious mind is getting more power, and these old limiting beliefs are taking over. This is where self-sabotage comes, and where all these limiting beliefs are taking power. So our subconscious mind and all beliefs which we are holding are just trying to protect us. That's all. And then we have also something that is called goal trauma. And this is something where our subconscious mind is referring to past failures, past goals that we have set. We have put all our heart into it. We tried so hard to achieve it. But at the end, we did not manage. And because of that feeling, this situation, we are not ready to really go with full heart into the new goal. So this is when we are speaking about beliefs. We said to set a goal, we need belief and strategy. So in beliefs, we have these non-serving beliefs, which we just talked about. But when we speak about strategy, what is it that is so difficult about strategy? Strategy means how. So how are we going to achieve something? What is difficult in this is that in order to achieve something, we need to create new habits. So strategy will consist of some steps. And if we are continuously repeating these steps, we are creating these actions, they should be forming into new habits, because our old habits, they have brought us here. We are here. And our new habits, they have aim to bring us in future towards our future goal. So it's difficult because, as we said earlier, habits are in subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind has reason to keep these habits there. Each and every habit that we right now have is having a purpose. It is there for a reason. And when we want to incorporate new ones, we have to reprogram our subconscious mind, which has the beliefs around these habits and why they're serving us. For example, so I thought that my strategy for losing weight will be having light dinner among all the others, right? But let's just focus on, I will have light dinner. And about on 6th day, when my willpower would go lower and it would be weakened, my light dinner would be so much challenged with chocolate cake, with cookies, with all this food that I craved and desired and used to eat. And that is the moment where my subconscious mind took over. What I did not realize at that time was that my subconscious mind had absolute reasoning, good reasoning, why these habits are good for me. And I was just constantly wondering, why am I struggling so much? Because my roommates, they have no desire to eat anything after dinner. It was such a big question over my head. And then this struggle built up this guilt and blame and constant failure. So here, just to confirm and say once again, why is it so difficult? Because my willpower is about 10,000 weaker than my subconscious mind. And my subconscious mind is keeping these old habits according to the beliefs that are serving me. And it took me some time to understand what was my limiting belief. I grew up in a family which was gathering around the table, and we would watch TV at night together. And then there was food. We would enjoy food together. And with food, I connected this being together, this family feeling, this time to rest. This evening was the only time when my parents allowed themselves to really sit down, enjoy their food, and rest. And another thing that my mind was connecting this food with was love from my mother. Because in my family, there was no expressing these emotions. You could not hear someone saying, I love you. But my mother would cook plenty of food to us as kids or even as grown-ups. So whenever we would be at home, she would express her love by food. And this was something that my mind was holding tight on. And when I would remove these snacks and spending time eating and having these double servings of dinner, my mind reacted like, you're taking these feelings from me. You're taking away from me mother's love, connection of family, and permission to rest. So I just want you to recognize how deep this is and how we struggle without knowing what is really behind. So to summarize this, to achieve goal, we need beliefs that serve our goals, both on conscious and subconscious level. And here the challenge is to recognize and change these non-serving beliefs into the positive ones that we would really like to have. And number two, what we need is strategy. So it's our plan of actions, how we are going to achieve this. And there we need to learn new habits. And this is where our challenge comes in this step, because we need to find a way how to really change these habits in challenging moments. So in moments when you are triggered, when you have impulse to react in old pattern, in old way. And there, what happens is that there comes, it happens a conflict between our conscious and subconscious mind, because our conscious mind is saying, I am here now trying to implement this new habit, and subconscious mind is saying, no, what you need to do is you need to go to your old habit, because otherwise you can't experience this, and this. And as we know that subconscious is much stronger than conscious, it will always win, unless we learn how to affect it and reprogram it. So here comes the main question. How do we do that? Because, okay, theory, we know all the theory, but we really want to see what we do when the challenge comes. And the only thing that I have so far found very helpful and that works great when I'm alone, I can do it myself, is EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique. And why it works? Well, it works because it is mind-body technique. And if you would imagine having this thought, I'm creating new habit, I can't eat cake, and then conflicting one that I need to have this, otherwise I can't live, I can't survive this moment. This creates conflict, which then goes directly into our nervous system and creates stress response. This becomes a fight or flight mode. And we cannot just say, okay, I'm aware of that, so I'm going to think something different. You can't, because there is already stress in your nervous system. So you have to act both in your mind and you have to calm down your nervous system. And how I am trying to explain this is, imagine if you see in the shop, I've seen it in the movies and sometimes in real life, you see a parent and you see this screaming kid. So this screaming kid wants that parent buys him toy or a sweet or whatever it is, and he's screaming, he wants it. And now the parent is already upset because he doesn't want that this is happening, but doesn't know what to do. And there is a lot of tension there. So imagine if this is happening within you. You have screaming kid and you have a parent. What do? Because screaming kid is somehow always so much stronger. It always gets what it wants. Or the other case is that parent says, no, you can't get it. And kid is really upset. You somehow can't get them both happy. Either parent buys this thing to kid and is feeling really guilty and stressed and upset, or kid is feeling upset and stressed. So what EFT is doing is that it's acknowledging both kid and the parent, and it's finding this middle ground. And how is this possible? Well, our nervous system is having meridians through the body. And this technique works that we are tapping on specific points in our body where these meridians are passing. And we use our fingers and we just tap on specific points, which then calms nervous system. And this is clinically proven technique. And these points which we are tapping on are acupressure points. So what we basically do is this. If you would imagine this screaming kid within you and this parent who is trying to stay calm, you would speak to this child. You would say, I see you, you're very upset. You really want to have this sweet. There is some meaning in that. Obviously, it means something to you. Your action is justified. So you're trying first to understand what's going on. You're trying to acknowledge what's going on, really appreciating it. And then when you feel, yeah, I'm calmer, thank you for acknowledging, you feel acknowledged then that everything is expressed. And then you move to this curiosity part, like, I really wonder what is in this toy. What is it that I'm really missing? What is it, child, that you're really missing? Is it parents' love? Do you need more attention, maybe? Do you need a hug? What would it be? So you see, you're calming the reaction down, and only then can you bring the both voices to the same level so that you make conscious decision. This is not unconscious decision at the end. For example, in my case, when I was really craving this cake and there was impulse, I need to go to the fridge, I need to have it, and I just feel this urge, and the next moment I know it's empty plate and I did not enjoy this moment and my stomach is full and I'm feeling so guilty. And EFT is enabling that I just sit with my cake here, and I have in my mind, I'm not preventing myself from having this cake. I'm not forbidding my mind or myself anything. The only thing what I'm here to do, and the only goal that I have, is to enhance my pleasure, to enhance my satisfaction, to be really guilt-free after whichever decision I make. And I can make decision that I eat this cake, and I can eat it with pleasure, enjoy every bite, and be guilt-free. Or if I decide differently, I can put it away and I can find a way which will bring me exact the same emotion. And I hope this will be more clear when we really go into some real example with some of you. And before we do that, let's just share the steps to set goal you really want and that you will achieve. So first is that you set this goal with really simple languaging that you will remember anytime, and you also add date to it. For example, I want to release 5 kilograms by 1st August. Then we need to commit to fun experience. This is my favorite step, and I would say it's really, really important, because our mind approaches to new goals as the struggles. Whatever is new is something that triggers us. It will be challenging and hard and difficult. After setting goals, what you want to do is to commit to fun. So you want to promise yourself and you want to promise your subconscious, I'm done with struggle. My dear mind, we are done with struggle. This process is going to be a source of excitement for us. This will come with ease, and we are not going to beat ourselves. We are now team. When you do that, you feel this release, that whatever comes, it's okay. My main priority is joy, pleasure, fun, and I'm going to be excited about this. And then the next step is writing down all the beliefs that are not serving your goal, to be aware what you need to shift, and then write those which you want to have, so that you can make this transition between clearing those which are not serving the goal and ones which you want to have. And number 5 is strategy, which you have amazing coaches in this group here, Stephanie and Christine, and I have no doubt that I need to speak about that one. But what I do want to say about strategy is that you need to make sure that you celebrate. If you set action steps, things that you are going to do, make sure that you celebrate and acknowledge yourself for every action that you have done, because your brain loves celebration and acknowledgement. And if you don't do that, if you're just doing, and you are not really feeling the progress and you don't really feel proud of all the things that you have done, what is happening in your mind is, well, I'm doing, so I'm servant here. What do I get for completing this action? I am getting just another to-do list. I'm not really motivated. Nope. And you lose this motivation. so it's of crucial importance that you put in this step and you start learning this. And in my coaching, I found it's really, really difficult because we have been programmed this way, that we motivate ours. Oh, I had some echo here, so I was wondering. So we have been programmed this way that we motivate ourselves by beating ourselves up. So, for example, you do something and then you think, oh, I should have done it sooner. I should have done it better. And even, at least when I was growing up, I could hear, see this person, how successful he is. See your cousin. See your brother. So I really want you to pay attention of this step, celebration, crucial, really important. Number 6, that is your reason why. You need to be aware, why is this goal important for you? Why is it? Why do I want to lose this 5 kilograms? Is it because I want to be attractive in front of other people? Or is it maybe because I want to be energetic, I want to be light, I want to be present with my child, I want to have amazing experiences, and right now I can't do that because I'm always tired and heavy? Do you see the difference? And the more deep your reason why is, the more certain you are that you are going to achieve this goal. Next step is, you would like to write your obstacles. So what have you experienced in the past that was stopping you from reaching the goal? What is it that you could see in front of you that is coming, maybe, that would be a challenge for you? And then just prepare your mind to the way how you're going to react, what are you going to do, and just get ready for that. Because the more your mind is prepared for what is going to happen, the easier it is to do that. And final step is that you really visualize and set yourself into this energy like you have already achieved this goal. I'm there. I see myself having this. I'm so energetic. I'm having so amazing energy. And just visualize this as it is already yours. And why I'm saying this? Because it has been enough for all of us to feel great in future, to feel great in that day when the goal is reached. We are done with that. Commit to yourself that I'm done with that. I want to feel amazing now, today. I don't know if I'm alive tomorrow. I have no clue. I want to feel this today. And I can ask myself, I can ask my subconscious mind, which is my helper, my mind, what is it that I could do in this moment to feel really energetic, really amazing? And you will get an answer. If you're giving your mind empty space, there you are, where it's possible that something comes. When your mind is having so many different thoughts and clutter and stuff, nothing new can come. Okay, so these were the basic steps, and you have them in this worksheet. You can later on sit down and just think calmly over your goal and write it down. And yeah, this was just the most important. If you take one thing from this talk I had, just take this: the era of guilt and struggle and feeling bad that I did not achieve thing. It's done. Just say, I'm done with that. I don't want to struggle and project my life in one day in future. I'm going to take this goal as my source of excitement, because whichever obstacle I face, whatever comes my way, I'm going to be curious. Why is this coming? I'm going to learn something new about myself. There is something that is triggering me. Just be open-minded and decide for yourself. the way you want to feel and just follow that. So this was all what I wanted to cover. And right now, I would, Stephanie, if you agree, it would be great if we would have someone who would like to work through this, through setting goals process.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if anyone here wants to go ahead and get some coaching from Josipa. And you can just unmute yourself or take your video. You can put your video on. But we're looking for someone who wants to get a little bit more support with where you're at right now. Don't be shy. There is one question I wanted to ask you, maybe while someone is getting the courage to jump on here. So what do we do with our mind and our mindset if we cannot prepare for what's about to happen to us?
Yeah. So, and such situations are plenty, right? Because we have no idea in certain cases what is going to happen. It's just, life is like that. It's unpredictable. Exactly. But what we are doing, it's exactly the same process when you are going to the stage, for instance. You're going to speak. So what you are doing is you can calm down your mind, because when does mind panic? Mind panics when it starts thinking of the worst outcomes. So what we do is that we calm down our mind, and we do some tapping on, for example, I have no idea what this situation is bringing me, and I'm so upset about that. I'm so afraid. I'm really terrified. And then you express everything that is going on in your mind. And then you say, but one thing I know I'm gonna give my best.
Yeah,
I will really give my best, because I always do. And only good things can happen for me. And from every situation, I can learn something new. So you're basically just calming down your mind. And in every situation, whatever it is, you know you will give your best if you're present, if your mind is calm.
I like that.
Does that answer? Yeah.
Yes, I think it does, because it gives us some tools moving forward, because every day can be unpredictable. And it's almost like we can start our days doing some tapping so that our mindset is in the right place. So either with that in mind, and I know we have a whole group here of wellness-minded folks who do have some issues with, feeling really guilty and being really hard on themselves when it comes to giving into cravings, like the guilt and, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person now because I had this whatever Oreo or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Josipa has this amazing workbook, but I was wondering if we could maybe just touch on that for a few minutes. We still want to get someone on here to get coached through some of their goals moving forward. But could we take a few minutes and have everyone who is in our group go through this tapping that you keep demonstrating? So there's a sequence to this tapping to focus on the acupressure points on our face and on the collarbone specifically. Could we do that as a group? Like, this is what we could do when we are faced with a craving that we really want to give into.
Yeah. And what I was planning is that someone will come with their goal, and then they will tell us what is typical obstacle, which would say craving. But we can work through whichever craving you find common amongst people, and of course we can do that.
Yeah, but I think for a lot of us, it's like a 3 p.m. craving or an after dinner craving, and we're like running for the sweets. I think that's pretty typical.
Yeah. So these steps, which I have here, they're tightly connected to the goal. So what I need to mention is that, for example, if my goal is release 5 kilograms. I can't come with something more.
Well, a lot of people do want to lose weight. Like they might have like 10 or 15 pounds of holiday weight, or in their New Year's they want to lose, or they want more energy, or they just want to sleep better at night, or be able to jump out of the bed in the morning. Like those are some really common goals. Is there anyone in the group who currently has one of those goals?
And if you don't want to hop on, feel free to type in the chat box too.
Yeah. So, for example, if you have this such a goal, what you want to do is you want to set up your mind just when you are setting the goal. So you have set the goal and you say, okay, I want to feel energetic, and I want to feel light, and I want to release weight. So you know this, you know your goal. And the next step is that you really decide and you tell your mind, I'm going to love myself through this process. I'm not going to make it as a struggle. And this you will ideally do when you feel great, when you have just set your goal and you are motivated, but you will announce to your mind, whatever happens in future, this is what I want to follow. And then you would sit in this meditative state and you would do some tapping on that. So I could just show you how it goes. So basically, tapping points which we follow, we have this karate chop on our on the side of our palm. But when I do this with my clients, we just skip this one, and you can of course use this one. This is conditional speaking. Even though I have this craving, I completely love and accept myself. So this would be in a case that I feel to eat chocolate cake. But what I found here is that when you do that, you just want to first go into how you feel and emotions. That's why I skip that one. So I use point on the here beginning of the eyebrow, then side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, and then under the arm where your bra strap should be, and then top of the head. And this is full circle. So for example, we would start, here I am on my journey, and then side of the eye. I have this amazing goal. Under the eye, I have set this new vision for my goal. Under the nose, and I really want it to happen. On the chin, because I want to grow together with my goal. And collarbone, I really want to feel amazing. So you're saying everything how you want to feel. And then you go, but the truth is, top of the head, there is part of me that is afraid of failing. Then eyebrow, there is a part of me that is fearing what is going to happen. Side of the eye, I'm so afraid what is going to happen. Under the eye, because there were so many instances when I did not succeed, if that is your case, right? Under the nose, I am aware and I acknowledge both parts of me. Chin, this excited part of me and this part that is afraid. And then collarbone, but I commit to love myself through whole journey. Under the arm, I commit to loving myself no matter what. On the top of the head, then I order my subconscious mind to make decisions out of love. I am committing to love. I commit to this loving feeling. And then we just make this as an order to my mind, to the subconscious mind, and we make ourselves aware that this is something that we want to follow. So this would be first step immediately after we have set the goal, right?
Because
And
it's
then,
like cementing it in. That's part of like cementing it into the subconscious.
Right. So we want to really put it in that this is not going to be struggle, not this time. I am every time going to make my choices and decisions out of love towards myself. Right?
When's the most effective time to incorporate the tapping? Because I could see this being really effective, like doing it before you get out of bed in the morning to set your intentions for the day. But you're saying like when you're confronted also with something, it can help you diffuse the situation and focus you and calm your brain and nervous system.
Yes. So this first two steps in this script are something that you will maybe do once or twice. But this third step is something that you will be doing every time when you are challenged, every time when you have this craving, and this is when your emotion is really strong. This is when usually we use tapping that is most effective. So just these first two steps are just like promises to yourself, promises and orders to your subconscious mind. And third step is something that you want to do when you are triggered.
So yeah, when you're triggered, the tapping becomes so much more effective because when you are goal setting, you set it into your subconscious.
Right.
Yeah. So I think like if everyone can think about what's most important to them and their intentions or goals for, the week, the month, the year, you have to be thinking about those goals. And I really want someone to get out of their comfort zone and jump on this call because we would love to see how this works in action. But you want to think about those goals and do the tapping through those goals so that when you come to a trigger point, you can do the same tapping. So I'm going to ask again, is there anyone who wants to jump on?
That's okay. We can also tap on this discomfort. What's behind that as a starting point? But if we would not have anyone who wants to share, maybe we can come with some most common thing, and then we can just show example how that would work.
Okay. Anybody? I'll give you another. We'll give you another chance.
Or you can just write down in the chat like my biggest obstacle is, and then say what it is. Why can't you keep your wellness goal?
Okay. Darcy, do you want to?
Darcy, you want to do it? Hold on. Oh, you're unmuted. We can't hear you.
We have a volunteer, people. Yay!
Yay!
If we can hear her.
You know she's on her phone. Do you have the chat option?
I can't unmute.
Oh, you're not muted.
Does she have headphones? Darcy, do you have headphones you can put in?
She has an earpiece in.
Oh, she has an earpiece in.
Mm-hmm.
While we're troubleshooting with Darcy, we really want to bring her on. Darcy, if you can hear me, it might help too to disconnect and come back on. I'm not sure why your volume's being funky. Is there anyone else who wants to get some of this coaching? Setting your goal. Oh, I think I heard something. Darcy? No, shoot.
You see.
All right. It's Breezy.
All right.
Look at Breezy.
Hi,
All
Breezy. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So Breezy, what is your major goal?
I think that's my problem why I didn't get on earlier, and I'm wondering if it's everyone else's too, is trying to pick one.
Okay.
That's a good point, Breezy.
That's amazing. So what you're saying is that you have maybe few that you're thinking about, or that you're not sure where to start?
Probably not sure where to start. I've noticed a lot lately that I'm so unobservant about myself that I can't even really say what specifically I need to do. Like I've been talking in our group, it's more probably getting my home environment under control more than really a personal goal or even diet or cravings or anything like that. It's more home environment currently.
Okay, so this is what is the biggest challenge for you. And if you would just close your eyes for a moment and you think about your home environment.
Oh, do I have to?
Just for a moment. Nothing bad will happen. You're absolutely safe, okay? You close your eyes and just think about home environment, everything that is there, and just finish this sentence. While thinking about my home environment, I feel
Overwhelmed.
Okay? And I feel overwhelmed at the thought that
I will never get it under control.
Okay. Breezy, would it be okay if we do together a round of tapping on this? Sure. Okay. Are you familiar with tapping points? Have you ever done it before?
Yeah.
You have? Okay, there's interesting laugh there.
Her first time was with us. That's why she's laughing.
Okay.
We were at a retreat.
Okay. So what I want you to do is close your eyes. I will be telling you, and you just repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
We start on the eyebrow. I feel really overwhelmed.
They're really overwhelmed.
So much overwhelm.
So much overwhelm.
Just to think about it.
Just to think about it.
All the things in my environment.
All the things in my environment.
There's so much.
There's so much.
It really makes me feel heavy.
It really makes me feel heavy.
There's so much.
There's so much.
And I start thinking that I will never be able to put it under control.
That I will never get it under control.
It's so overwhelming.
And it's so overwhelming.
Okay, take a breath. So I just want to show everyone that this is how we do it together. And Breezy is here. I'm sorry that you're exposed here, but we will really not go so much deeper in that. But so we just talk about what we feel and what's going beyond there, what is going on. So I feel overwhelmed because I'm thinking about that and that. And then we decrease the emotion in general which we have. So Breezy, in the beginning, if you are thinking about how strong this overwhelm is, would you say that that is really like a 10 from 1 to 10?
Probably an 8.
Yeah. So with this tapping, we would try to reduce it at least under 5 until we would try to transform it. And so in order to show everyone how this obstacle, like a third point in our this small script would work, could you, Breezy, tell me what would be the one thing that comes up to your mind why you would not be able to fix things in your environment and have it under control?
Mainly just not knowing where to start. So it's not a relationship thing or anything like that. It's just clutter. So not knowing where to even start of sorting things or which room or anything like that. Right.
And do you feel very uncomfortable right now to be exposed here?
No, because you can't see anything.
No, I can't, but some people do just by voice. Okay.
Just by voice? No.
Okay. So I just want to say on this example that when we feel overwhelmed, it's so much there. This is a sign that there is something that is going on under. And first thing that you need to see is that this clutter which is around you, it symbolizes something, right? It has the meaning, and there is the root cause why you created it. It is definitely a reason behind it. So if we would start tapping together, and we would start getting into these feelings which you have around it, we would most certainly come to the root cause. And in this case, it's a little bit difficult because we can't really say, we can't really show everyone that we have one obstacle which is concrete, because when you say I'm not sure where to start, it's more open, and we have to come to the root. So we would have to do more rounds for sure. But let's just do this together. Would you like to do this?
Would it help if I said that I need to start with clothing?
Does it overwhelm you?
Yes, the clothing is the worst.
Okay. So let's close our eyes and let's just start together. You start with eyebrow, okay? I really want to sort out this clutter.
I really want to sort all this clutter.
There's so much.
There's so much.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
I simply don't know where to start.
Don't know where to start.
And I really want to sort it out.
And I really want to sort it out.
But it makes me panic.
But it makes me panic.
I want to freak out.
I want to freak out.
Every time when I think about this.
Every time I think about it.
I just want to escape.
I just want to escape.
I don't want to face that.
I don't want to face it.
I would love that I can escape.
I would love to escape.
But I really want to sort it out.
But I want to sort it out.
It has been troubling me for so long.
It has been troubling me for so long.
It's here all around me.
It's here all around me.
And I trust that there is a reason for this.
And I trust there's a reason for it.
I really want to feel free.
I really want to feel free.
Maybe I need a break.
Maybe I need a break.
I trust that my inner wisdom knows.
I trust my inner wisdom knows.
And I'm willing to listen.
And I'm willing to listen.
There is this feeling that this clutter
There is this feeling that this clutter
will resolve so many of my problems.
will resolve so many of my problems.
But yet, here I am right now.
But yet here I am right now.
It's so overwhelming.
So overwhelming.
It's all around me.
It's all around me.
And I want to make a good decision.
And I want to make a good decision.
I just can't myself start. I
just
can't make myself start.
I can't make myself start.
And it's getting worse by day.
And it's getting worse day by day.
The more I think about it, the worse it is.
The more I think about it, the worse it is.
It makes me panic.
It makes me panic.
I want to escape.
I want to escape.
And I do wonder what's behind this feeling.
And I do wonder what's behind this feeling.
I do wonder, how can I switch this?
I wonder how I can switch this.
I do wonder, how could I get motivated?
I do wonder how I can get motivated.
How can I feel really motivated?
How can I feel really motivated?
What is this that I need to do first?
What do I need to do first?
I trust my inner wisdom.
I trust my inner wisdom.
There is the answer.
There is an answer.
I'm just going to be curious about it.
Just going to be curious about it.
What would I really love to do?
What would I really love to do?
What is it that I would really love to do about it?
What would I really love to do about this?
I'm just going to stay open to this idea.
I'm just going to stay open to this idea.
And I have trust that idea will come to me.
I have trust that an idea will come to me.
Okay, take a breath here. Release it all out. Did you have any specific thoughts when we were doing this?
I was trying to pay attention so much, which is something that I do a lot, and which I did a previous thing that I did, that I focus so much on trying to do it right that I don't get the benefit of it sometimes.
Yeah, it's completely normal. You're on the call. Yeah. Okay.
That there's something behind it, that there's a reason for it, and I've always thought that, but I've never really figured it out. Like, my surroundings is a mirror of my mind, is kind of how I've explained it to people before. Like, however my surroundings looks, that is what's going on in my head right now. That's how my thoughts are, and that kind of thing.
Yes. And once you clear all the inner chatter, you just get inspired and motivated, and you just get up one day and you feel this urge to clean up your cupboards. But in this particular case, we were not aiming to come to particular decision. Like there is no conflict between two sides. Which what we are doing for difference in these cravings, because we really want it, and it's different thing to tap on. So in your case, we would need to do deeper work to come to the root cause, right? But this is how tapping works in general, that we just tap on what we feel, and then you need some guidance how you can reach the root cause. And for the cravings, we would then tap on both sides. I feel this and I feel this, and we would try to calm this down. We would really feel how we feel until we come to the decision, which is then guilt-free. Thank you, Breezy, for your willingness to do this. Even though we were not working on cravings, I hope that we managed to show tiny little bit of tapping.
Let us know in the chat box by just saying yes if that was helpful for you to see in action.
And if you don't have a chat box, you can raise your hand, I think, on the phone easily.
Okay. We've got a few yeses. And just as a recap, we had a few people jump on late. The tapping, or the EFT, Josipa, it's it's focusing on different acupressure points to calm the nervous system down so that you can come to a conclusion based on a decision that you want to make. Is there a better way to say that for the people who, there were a few people who jumped on kind of partway through your explanation of it?
This is the way that I like to think about it, because I really like to think what it does actually. We do press on acupunctural points in our body, which are places where our nervous system's meridians are passing. And by doing this, we are calming down our nervous system, and we are able to get clarity and relief from all the emotion and stress responses which our nervous system holds. So we are able to tell our subconscious mind, it's okay, I am not in danger right now, because this part of our mind is trying to protect us. So we are just calming it down and saying, it's okay, I am here, we are safe, and you don't have to react this way. And then we can come to some conclusion that is coming from conscious mind. It's not impulsive anymore.
And I think one of the things that we talked about on our prior call was that this tapping, even if you make a choice to like have the proverbial piece of like chocolate cake with chocolate frosting followed with a chocolate milkshake. Okay, I'll stop. Even if you make that choice, you still go through this tapping process to remove the guilt from the choice that you just made. So we all have, like, we're confronted with this trigger. We're either going to choose to proceed forward, or we're going to avoid it. And whatever our choice is, tapping actually will help to remove some of that guilt associated if you choose to like eat that thing or do this behavior or whatever it might be, right?
Right. And this is an amazing point which you just said, because it's important to know that after we have done this, we have eaten this cake and we acted from impulse, and now it's done and we feel really guilty. This is also the point when we can do this tapping and really process our emotions. So we would tap something like, I have eaten this whole cake and I feel so guilty. I'm freaking annoyed by myself. How could I have done that? We would express all what we feel. And we would basically feel how this stress is going down. But the key in this is that you really speak what you feel and what you think. So you process everything.
Yeah.
Until you come to conclusion, which is, it's okay.
Yeah. I like that. And Brooke even said in the comments over here, she's saying being guilt-free will be a wonderful thing. Guilt is huge and it's easy to hang on to. So can tapping, using this technique of tapping, can that help us actually to let go of guilt from something that has happened over Christmas time or 5 years ago? Or okay.
Yes. What it does is that it's not only with food, but with everything. Why we use it is that when we have such a past events that we are holding emotional charge to, tapping removes this charge. So if I work with a client who had abusive relationship, whenever she thinks about this relationship, she gets really stressed and upset and full of hatred. And now when we use this technique, she is able to see it as a past event that was just as such, and to say herself, it's okay, it was not my fault. I'm okay. This just happened to me and I'm in peace with that. And this works with every single situation in past that we had.
I love that, because it allows your brain to really focus on the present and moving forward instead of where you're at and what happened in the past. So you're retraining your subconscious to think about a safer place, a safer time.
Right. And if we don't do that, then our brain is thinking that this past event is still present right now. So if the opportunity will come in the future, it will react with danger response, with really not wanting to go there. This is why a lot of people, when they have failed, unsuccessful relationships, their subconscious mind is trying to protect them from going into new one. Absolutely. And until you clear the old one and everything what happened there, you're not free to really come into new situation with open heart.
Yeah, I agree with you. Totally. I mean, I think every single one of us here has a situation that has happened in the past that they could tap through. And just to reiterate, in your inbox is Josipa gave us these worksheets, and you can see that she has the diagram in here that we just went through on the video. So if you want to reference that later on, you can. But it's really thinking about going in this circular motion from you start inner eyebrow, right?
Yes.
Inner eyebrow, outer eyebrow, under the eye, under the nose, the chin, the collarbone, the arm, the head.
Right.
Do you ever switch over the meridian? Or do you keep it
I do.
Okay.
I do. And also what you can do is you can do with both hands if you feel more triggered, or if you just want to just experiment with that. And of course you will find a lot of material, a lot of resources all around. Just allow yourself to experiment, and just know that there is no really wrong way.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Does anyone else have, sorry, Kristen.
No, I was going to say, Josipa, is there a certain things that people should say, or is it just whatever kind of, you just acknowledge your emotions and what you're feeling and thinking and then just go through it? Or is there a certain like kind of pattern to what they should say if they're trying to use it to make it applicable to their own goals?
Yeah. So if you are, in general, in tapping, what is the goal is that when we don't feel as we want, then we want to switch that, right? Yeah. So I feel stressed. You will tap that through everything that you feel. I feel so stressed because, and this is, it's terrifying. It's so difficult for me. You will tap through all that. And then you will not go immediately, but I want to feel amazing. You will just go slowly. Like you're thinking, I wonder, could that be different? I wonder, could I somehow affect this? Is there a possibility for me to change it? So you're gradually decreasing this as you feel that you can, because always your feeling is guidance. And then you go and you transit it into what you want. But I want to be free from stress. I want to be powerful. I want to be able to decide what I want. I want to be, then you state all what you want to go into.
And one of the biggest things that I feel with tapping is like a huge diffuse of emotion. So what you just said, like it brings you down, it calms your nervous system. And that's one of the biggest benefits for me personally. I don't know if other people would have different, reactions to it, but that's one of the things that I do enjoy about it, is because I can feel it happening inside. I can feel myself coming down, stepping away from the ledge.
Yeah.
And Josipa, is there, do they have to say it out loud, or is it more powerful to say it out loud, or can they do it all internally?
It is more powerful to say it out loud. But if you're doing it like me in my previous job, in toilet or in bathroom somewhere where it's better to just whisper it than not do it.
Okay.
Just whisper it or speak it in your mind. It's also much better than not do it. It will do it will benefit you. But whenever you can, just speak it out.
Let us know in the chat box if you think this is something that you are interested in trying, that you've tried before, that your curiosity is piqued, that you tried it. Let us know if this is something that you can put in your toolkit to carry with you. Awesome. Brooke saying this could be a game changer. Absolutely. It's just another one of those mindset tools that can really help completely flip a situation on its head. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited that we got to share this with so many people. And I just want to see if anyone else has questions for you, or if anyone else would like to say anything before we start to wrap up. We got a quiet group tonight.
I do have a question. It's
Awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
So whenever we were at the retreat, I was very upset whenever I was having the EFT done. And Josipa, I would calm down and I would be able to like, okay, I can finally quit crying. But then whenever the girl that was doing it, whenever she would go to my fingers and touch my fingers, I would start crying again, and it would start all over again.
So
and
the
then
woman was tapping on you,
yes.
right?
So I was okay. Like I could finally calm down, but as soon as she touched my fingers and tapped on my fingers, then like all of that emotion would come right back. So like, because I know different meridians are in different places and pressure points and that kind of thing. I'm just curious, like, is there something that strong in your fingers, like guilt, grief,
So
connected to something specific?
yeah. So the thing is that different people react very differently on specific points. And so far in this moment, we don't know which point corresponds exactly to which emotion. But one thing is for sure, as long as you are still emotionally attached to things, you still have to release, you still have to tap on it, work on it, and release the charge. So what I can say is that some of my clients, they would feel the pain when they are tapping on specific points, or really these tingling sensations. And that is so different from person to person. And we are not in this point really sure which point in the body corresponds to which emotion.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then so, Josipa, when someone's tapping and they have a really emotional response to it, you say they have to keep tapping. So do you keep tapping in that specific session until you've come out of that emotion? Or
Yes.
do you keep coming back to it over and over again?
I absolutely continue tapping, and I don't leave person in a bad state. And when this reaction is really, really strong, of course, there are these examples when other person taps on the person, but since I'm working virtually, I don't do that. But I allow person just to tap and not speak, because it becomes really difficult. And we go through it. We just have to pass through that wave. I say, don't push it down, let it come out. It wants to come out. You can't push it down. It's important that it comes out, and we go to the end. We have to release it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is great. And the tapping can help it release.
So let it come and keep letting it come until it naturally itself calms down.
Yes. Yeah. And this is a typical example, because this process is uncomfortable. It's not easy. You're facing your emotions. And what happens to people is like, okay, I cried it out. I'm done with this. I don't want anymore. But the emotion is not expressed yet. Mm-hmm. So you start thinking about that, and it's still triggering you. It's telling you, I'm still here. You can't ignore me. I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to be persistent. Yeah.
So Haral said that she's going to try the tapping. Vicky as well. Susan has a question. She says, I think you mentioned something to the effect of celebrating successful choices. How do you do that practically? I feel like I say no to cravings 50 times a day and don't have time to celebrate that each time. Does that make sense? So if someone is coming up against cravings 50 times a day and they are continually, and they're able to like say no, say no, say no, say no, how do they practice that kind of, celebrate that success practically, I guess?
Yes. So you can make just small celebration points. Like, it doesn't have to be, I'm going on a holiday because I did this. But you can say, I did it, yes, once again. And just feel this feeling within you that you made yet one great choice for you. just feel this and say, yes, I'm amazing, I did this, I rock. Great. That's celebration.
Yeah,
Just
like
internal acknowledgement.
yeah, like taking the time to think about what you've done and acknowledge it. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Susan, if you want more to that answer, let us know. So Darcy is saying, this seems to me to be an active form of meditation. It would help to expose and overcome circling thoughts.
Yep, absolutely. This calms down your thoughts. And you can call it that way, actually. That's a very nice way to express it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop them in their tracks.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any thoughts, questions, anything they would like to share? Now is your chance. You have given us so much amazing information in this hour and a half that we've spent together, from celebrating our successes, which Susan reminded us for. And I see Darcy on camera. Are you? Hi. Nope. Okay. I wasn't sure if you got your microphone or your speaker working, so I wanted to make sure. No. Boo. And then the resources that you have given us, which everyone has in their email. And if you don't, make sure you let Kristen or I know so we can get them to you, but you should have those. And yeah, I love the thought of taking the setting of the goals one step further. So Breezy made a good point. Maybe people really need to take a moment and think about what you really want. Like, what is a goal, intention, something you want to work towards in the next month? I mean, you have to have that piece in place first before you can solidify it into your subconscious using this tapping. So it can be something super general. It can be something, but I think as long as you're saying it out loud and you're visualizing where you want to be, or what you want to look like, or how you want to feel, whatever it is, as long as you can feel that and visualize that and then tap that into your subconscious, you spend some time working on the tapping with that goal. That way, when you have the trigger that's going to roadblock that goal, then you have the tapping technique that you can bring into play. It really is a nice it really is a nice set of a sequence that you've set up for us that I haven't done it that way before. I've practiced the tapping before to like calm myself down, but I've never tapped into a goal to make it that part of my subconscious. And I'm excited to try that. I'm super excited to try. I'll probably do it tonight as when we get off the call. Kristen, is there anything else you wanted to go ahead?
Well, I was going to say, when back to just a minute on Susan, when we talked about celebrating, and I know you said in the beginning of the call to kind of declare your goal, make sure it's aligned with you, and declare the goal and kind of set an end date. So with that kind of celebrating it, you could kind of acknowledge those little things that you do to get to your goals, kind of like that, make it that internal acknowledgement. But then when you hit that date, I would assume that at that point, when you hit that date and hit that goal, you're going to want to do something a little bit more extravagant, right?
You sure will. Yes. And this is always, we do this more often, and it's more common. This is why I'm not giving special attention to this, because we say, yeah, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Of course, you will celebrate your end goal, but what we all often forget is to celebrate our path towards achieving it. And of course, what you need to know and just keep in mind that when you are celebrating on the way, you will already feel all the way like you have achieved your goal. And this special celebration, it will come automatically.
Right.
But if you don't do that on the way, you are in danger that you will achieve this goal and it will not feel so exciting anymore. You will not feel like celebrating, like, what's in this goal?
right?
Yeah, I agree. And
So
it
it's
keeps
as
you
simple-
motivated too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something as simple as just at the end of the night saying to yourself, man, I did a good job today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think we have one more. So I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Laren says, thank you for all of this. I want to make a difference in myself this year, and this will be keeping what you shared with us in mind and keep trying it. First, I'll have to nail down the goals. Thank you so much.
What I'm going to say about the goals, it seems to be a theme here. Tomorrow, all of you are going to get an email with this recording in it in case you wanted to listen to it again or share it. It's okay. You can share it with people who you think could benefit from this. I'm also going to include something in that email that might help you kind of pinpoint the area of what this goal might be. So I'm going to include something, and a few of you have already done this with me. But I'm going to include something called the Circle of Life, and it will be on a PDF with the circle, okay? And this circle is something that Kristen and I use as part of our Rise Up group coaching program. It's one of the first things that we have you dive into, because a lot of people, because we're both, I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, Kristen's an aromatherapist and master herbalist. It's under the assumption that we just talk about health and wellness, but we find that there's a lot of other things that have to be met and satisfied first before we can go on to some of those other goals. So we really encourage everyone to go through this Circle of Life activity. It's one of the things that we have you do right off the bat. So I'm actually going to give it to you, because I think that if we are sitting here and we really want to take this information from Josipa and really make it practical and make it work for us, we do have to be thinking about those goals. So the way this works, I'm going to explain it in about 2 minutes. It'll be in a PDF. This circle is cut out of the piece of paper so that I could fit it in my journal here. But there, this is your Circle of Life in a kind of like generic 2D format. And your Circle of Life here is broken up into different categories. So I have spirituality, creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical activity, home cooking, home environment, relationships, social life, joy. So basically what you do is you evaluate. You don't ponder this for a really long time. This is kind of like knee-jerk instinct. You come into each one of these categories and you kind of place a little circle on this line, and you're going to pretend that this line is a continuum. So if you're placing your dot over here on creativity way out here by the red line, you are 100% super fulfilled, satisfied. There's nothing else that you have to do to make that part of your life better. However, if you're taking that, if you're putting a dot on the Circle of Life and it's in here closer to the center, that means you're super dissatisfied. So what you do is on all of these different areas and categories of your life, you're going to go ahead and put a dot on this continuum. And then what you do is you connect the dots. And you are going to see what your Circle of Life looks like. I can guarantee there's very few of us who are going to have a perfect looking circle. So what you want to do is wherever you have that biggest gouge out of your Circle of Life, that could be a really good indicator for where you need to focus your goals on at the beginning of the year. If you tackle the biggest things first right out of the gates, the smaller things are going to follow. And this is something that you probably could and should do it like every 3 months as your life changes and as your goals change. If that's helpful, if you think that would be helpful guidance for you, let me know. And if you have any questions in particular about that right now, I can answer those real quick. But I just think because there's so many of us who we really like learn saying, I want to make a difference in myself this year, but geez, where do I start? This, good, perfect, going to be extremely helpful. That will help you kind of take a big picture look at your life so that you can figure out just where to start. And along with we'll also send another link to the handouts that Josipa gave us. We'll send the Circle of Life. We'll send the recording to you tomorrow. So please make sure you check your email from us tomorrow. But Kristen and I also wanted to go ahead and give everyone on this call and everyone listening to the recording a super, super special invitation. Okay, we actually have 3 more calls similar to this, not on the same topic that Josipa just touched on, but we have 3 other calls this month, and we would love to invite you into our Rise Up program for the remainder of the month of January. And what that means is that Kristen and we're both in the wellness field. We coach people through issues ranging from fatigue to poor sleep to serious chronic issues like thyroid concerns and autoimmune conditions and Lyme disease, and getting your health back on track to, losing weight or removing joint pain, whatever it is. We're qualified to help you get from point A to point B so that you can feel amazing in your life. We have a group coaching call coming up, and it's in this same format. So you're already familiar with this format. You hop on a Zoom call, we send you the link, we're there, we answer questions, we get you started with a plan right now at the beginning of 2018. So if you're thinking to yourself, gosh, I could really use some guidance after I do this Circle of Life for where I need to go and how I need to get there, we can help you do that. We also have 2 other mentor experts coming in the month of January. One is actually, her name's Catherine. She is from Canada, and she focuses on, she's a professional planner. So she's going to hop on and she's going to help us do some planning specific to meal planning so that we can have a plan ready to move forward to implement. Like I said, Kristen and I are going to do a group coaching call, and then we have another mindset focused talk at the end of the month from a woman. Her name is Lorraine, and she's actually going to be joining us from New Zealand. We can give you more information about their bios and what they will be talking about in the email tomorrow as well. But we really want to invite you into our group. This is different than the Well Body Living Facebook group. This is a Well Body Tribe closed group that is just for the Rise Up members. And we want to invite you in for the last, 3 months or 3 weeks of the month to really get you, to help support what you've learned tonight and to get you started with some really, powerful movement in 2018. The information to do that is going to be in your email tomorrow. Kristen, is there anything that I left out or anything you want to add?
No, I think that was pretty much, you covered it all.
Okay. All righty. Well, everyone, we just want to thank Josipa so much.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
You're amazing. I loved it. I learned so much, and I know that everyone else did too.
Well, let's just mention Josipa is in our closed Facebook group as well. So you guys pop in there, then you can ask her some follow-up questions if something pops up in the next couple days as you're working through this.
And Josipa, if people want to know more about you and learn about you, where should they go? Can you type your website in to the chat box?
I can. It's josipasingh.com. Yeah.
And we'll send it out in the email tomorrow as well.
Yes. Excellent. Awesome. So there's her link. Lots of thank yous. You are so welcome. Darcy saying, Josipa, thank you so very much for your insight and wisdom. It was extremely helpful. I've set and failed at many goals over the years, but the link to link conscious and the subconscious was spot on. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And I love that analogy of the screaming child and the parent and bringing them onto the same level. That was puts
really
it in
good
perspective.
analogy.
Yeah.
because most of us can relate to that. Or wanting to get to that point. All righty. Well, feel free to, again, join us in the Rise Up group. Look for the email from us tomorrow, and hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, do you want to stop recording?